Let's continue playing Master of Orion. When we last left off, we were continuing our campaign against whatever was left of the universe. In order to do this, I have upgraded our fleet a bit. I've got rid of our battleship and replaced with fighter, frigate and destroyer 8s. And pretty much with destroyer 8, its defences are much lower than the previous version, but it does have a lot more guns now. So hopefully that and its 200 hit points will make up for it. Altair is going to continue building shields, as I think it's a few other places that I figured were at risk. The IX system. Don't want to set it up like that. I meant to set it up a bit like that. Mind you, they've been more or less leaving me alone over there, so who knows. Either way, I've also sent the fleet from IX down because really the next target is going to be the Mechlons, and I have also noticed they are preparing a sort of fleet here, so I probably need to reinforce Altair. So let us continue on with that then. Next turn. Automated repair system, which is not bad, and now means we move on to this. So improved industrial tech 6, probably not useful now to us because I think we have 5. Armored exoskeleton though would boost our ground troops, which is something we've got quite a lot of good stuff on. Orion has reached maximum factories, so that's additional tech being made there. Mental with its destroyer 8s down to Altair. Voltanis as well. So pretty much we've got loads of ships with loads of guns on the way down. Spiker is producing some defences there, because it might as well. It's our artifact world and it needs protecting. Add enough to really boost that though. So technology-wise, we're concentrating on weapons a bit. Planetology, Death Spore is not too important. That was really the propulsion. But the Class 6 deflector shields could be useful. Let's actually cut that down slightly so we can concentrate more on our pulse-on missiles. Actually, no, that works quite well. I'm fine with that. So, moving on to next turn. There's that movement down there. Death Spores have been researched. Let's go with Biotoxin Antidote. Let's go and transfer another 200-ish points, because it really is not holding that many. So that'll have a defensive thing up next turn. Yeah, they are joining up a bit of a fleet there. So we need these destroyers as fast as possible. Gora also producing a destroyer. So you have steady waves of things coming in. Destroyer 7s and that. I'm worried about that fleet, I really am. So I'm actually going to keep the reinforcements coming up there. We still have the fleet at Nizza. Although, I'm not sure how good that is at the moment. Probably good enough. Switch you to frigates and switch you to... You're making frigates anyway, so you can switch to destroyers. Kilfus can stay as a research world. And you can keep building a destroyer a turn, actually, because that's quite useful. So Altair itself... let's transfer another 100 over. Just to see if we can get its factory levels up a bit. Massive ecology boost purely because it might as well. So if I reduce that to that, and have it start building its own fighter 8s, then I guess that is kind of working to defend itself a little more. Lock industry, max that. That'll do, 10 factories a turn, plus the population boost. Battle Computer 5. So let's go ECM Jammer 5 as well. And the Mechlons have declared war. Now Are they advancing on us now? Xi'an has reached industry maximum, but the fleet has not yet moved, which is good because we need the time, I think. So now, no waiting about this one. Need all the things we can get with guns. Destroyer down. It's probably the only reason I'm not really considering getting rid of the things just yet. Right, so 4,000 research points a turn currently being generated. Altair's still really a bit down. I'll transfer another few points there because it's going to get attacked at some stage. It's the closest thing they've got to it, so we need that shield up. Preferably we need other things defending it really as well. Polis, frigates. No, it's a way away, but might as well. Xi'an can build frigates as well, actually. At the cost of a lot of our research, I know, but maybe it can't. No, it can stick with. It can stick on the research side of things. Paranar's still building destroyer return. You're still building destroyer return. You are doing both, really. Which I guess makes a sort of sense, but what else could you make? You make 7 level 8 frigates. So 7 of those. Graviton and fusion beams versus the destroyer, which has make 7 frigates for that turn. Shield hopefully will be up at some point. In fact, we're going to drop the ecology again. I'm going to lock that off, get some more. Frigate every 3 turns probably isn't overly going to help us, so lock that off. Increase the industry production. We shall go and transfer more points to Altair. So yes, I'll have quite a bit in reserve, really. Oh, dang it, that was wasted. Alright. That's not as wasted, really. Intent. Class 6 deflector shields, okay. So now, Class 10 planetary shield versus a cloaking device. We have a planetary shield route here. And here they come. Right. As much as I'd want to scrap the 7s here, I think quite a lot of them are in orbit around Altair at the moment. Yeah, frigate 7s, fighter 7s, destroyer 7s. They don't actually have a lot of newer ships there. How long till they arrive? They are 3 turns away. So, Paranar built to send over. 3 turns, so you'll get there in time. They'll get there in time. Alright. So it's what's going to arrive on time here. And that's 4 turns, so that's late. Ajax, can get your fighters there? Yes, you can. I'll take every gun we can get here. They're going to arrive late. Unfortunately, I can't redirect them really anymore. Polis, fortify at Nizza. Yeah, if this doesn't work, I'm really going to struggle here, aren't I? Can you... It's a bit far for you, but can you make it there? No, that's 4 turns. Right, Altair. We need this to work. I'm wasting resources points to do that, actually. So, what's the worst thing we can have? What can we get rid of here that's not going to make that much of a difference now? I can probably afford to get rid of the Fighter 7s. Alright, let's go to design mode, clear, small. So arm it with Zortium, give it the fusion engines. What weapon can we give it? Neutron pellet gun, so actually it's no better armed. Still has the inertial stabilizer though. And still is quite maneuverable. In fact, extremely maneuverable. If I get rid of that though, I can actually give it a class 1 shield. So, I don't think necessarily a bad change, and I think this is probably how I'm going to set it up. So, mass maneuverability. So, that increases combat speed and defense. This is probably how I'm going to have it. Just think if there's anything I can really do here. So, preview of the Fighter 9. Next turn. More fleet production. Yours will get there in time, so that's okay. 2 turns away. That is pretty much it, though. The rest is going to have to assemble at Voltanis. Just in case things go wrong, because they could still very much do that at the moment. Technology-wise, still at around 4,000. Actually check the racial screen. We are now up on technology, up on production. Our fleet strength is now ahead of the silicoids, but the mechlas still have more, and it's coming towards us now. So you can build some. Lock those off. Okay, so we can get some shielding done. Go down to 3 factories and go... Right, so we'll have a few defense bases at the very least. Dulce has reached industry maximum. Altera's built its Fast 5 shield, which it needed to do, really. So that is the fleet. Have we done enough, really? Lock that out and build. Can build 3 defense bases there versus... Can we get another destroyer rate out of that? Nope. Versus a frigate versus everything else. No, I think the defense bases are a reasonable thing to build here, and in fact, if we can transfer in... Yep, so that's 4 defense bases there, so there'll be 4 missiles a turn. Then we want to transfer the remaining reserves over to Spiker. I hope we're not going to need to use this backup fleet immediately, but I've got an odd feeling we are going to have to. Very well then. Next turn. The mechlas attack the Cylons. So we have 4 bases. We have a lot of ships. But so do they. Let's just look at that. The L10, 100 colony ships. And they have a lot. Let's see how Auto actually handles this. Obviously, our destroyers do have a lot of guns on them. Actually, why are you not... Sorry. Why are you not doing anything? They can hurt, so might as well just resist. No, we are losing a lot of ships now. Go and take out the Nexus. Wipe them out. Right, frigate 7s. Now we're going to take out this capital ship first, if we can. You can keep fighting them though. Alright, no lot of points left, so we got rid of it. Okay. Firing missiles. See, that's the other capital ship. We can take that out as well. Keep some resistance on them. And then destroyer 8s can go and wipe out some of them. Yeah, a lot of resistance still left. Yeah, they're going to wipe us out here. I can just sense this. Is gone. Yeah, all we're really doing is hurting it. We're not really causing much problems here. Right, let's switch back to auto. Let it fight itself now. There might actually have been a more valid tactic going after those ships. But ultimately, though, it's not worked in my favour, I don't think. Interestingly, it's our older version of frigates which are actually surviving. They really don't have a lot of power, those ships. Oh, I'm so glad we got those 4 bases though. 5. They've hurt. There's now a weak enough force that I think I can actually counterattack now. Let's see how things are. 60. 2 missiles hits. Keep firing. Yeah, because these are our older ships. The defense boost is a big thing. You know, the number of weapons we got is good, but just being able to survive the hits is important. Yeah, so one destroys its last legs, but we'll be able to take out 2 of them at least. Yeah, I don't think it's going to make much difference, but we're going to go for Actually, can we scan things? What have they got? Oh, one of them has fusion bombs. Bit of a rapid change of tactics, but since we're pretty much doomed anyway, taking out one of those might actually be enough to save the because the other one's then got loads of points as well. This could have gone better. On the plus side, at the very least, that was a valiant defense, but they were ultimately better than us. Now they're going to bomb the planet. They retreat. Take one of them out, that'd be useful. Ooh, one. Unknown spy destroyed 3 factories on Altair. But they did not take it. And it still has 4 bases remaining. And they are in retreat. So ultimately, that worked quite well for us, really. We now need to fortify that very rapidly now. In fact, if Altair can get more defences built, that would be awesome. Yeah, so they'll now have 6 defensive bases. Doesn't need that. Not need the tech lock. It really needs some new. There we go. 2.6 clean ecology. It'll work. So, having a look at our fleet stats now, we can pretty much get rid of the frigate 7, the fighter 7, and whatever's left of our destroyer 7s can remain. So, design. We're then looking for frigate 9s, really. Although, really, they don't have a lot of don't really have a lot of defences. A shield that absorbs 6 hit points and 1 gun. Downgrading to a class 2 shield allows it to have fusion beams, a couple of them. Oh, and a nuclear bomb. But really, what are we after with this? I could downgrade to a class 3 and then give it the class... No, I can't quite do that. Fusion beams versus the graviton beams. The fusion beams are more reliable in doing damage. Class 5 attack. And for the sake of it, it's got nukes for ground attack. Though not very good ground attack, it should work. So this is now our frigate 9. Which we're going to start building in abundance. Design, then also need to clear all that out and go Zortium, Fusion, Computer 5, give it its neutron pellet gun, give it that, and then go Class 3 maneuverability. So, actually, what about the inertial stabilizers? Can it go to... Strangely, I can give it automated repair. Automated repair versus a Class 1 shield. Class 1 shield. They won't last very long, but that's what they're done. That's what they're there for now. So we want fighter 9s. Voltanists can build... Let's actually design the large version of this ship. So this does want the class 6 shields. give it heavy fusion beams, free of. Can then also give it a could actually give it heavy laser as well. It's not that particularly useful. Biological weapons, streaming attacks. And then give it some missiles. Thing is, it'd be quite useful for it to attack at range. And then one nuclear bomb. No, we'll get rid of those. Give it the ECM, or just keep things as they are. No, the combat speed and defense is useful, so 4 and 4. Helpful. Absorbing 6 hits, heavy fusion beams. Give it give it a heavy laser as well, just to emphasize it's a ranged vessel. And then we have our destroyer 9, which we're going to build and replace the destroyer 7. Okay, so let's have some destroyer. Let's have some destroyer 9s built before the next wave comes in. Alright, build frigate 9s, a lot of them. Get things to Altair. Doesn't matter if they're not particularly useful. We need as many things as we can get there now. Policy's frigates can arrive there as well, because there will be a second wave. I'm almost certain of it. At the very least, Altair is now building defences for itself, and if we can get our Class 10 shields online, that should work favourably for us. Especially as they are slower than us, and they don't have a lot, seemingly, in reserve. That said, I'll just send an Annihilator. So I'm still building 8s. Kulfus needs to start working on Destroyer 9s. Mentar needs to start working on Destroyer 9s. Toronor upgrades to Frigate 9s. And Polis goes for Frigate 9s as well. And in fact, just because of how devastated we were last time, I'm actually going to send that fleet over as well. So pretty much we're focusing our entirety of our forces now on Altair. And then, once we think we have enough, we're going to go for Mechlon. So let's transfer as many points as we can get away with to the planetary reserve in Spiker. And then transfer a few more over to Altair to improve things. Next turn. Oh, one Destroyer 8 still being built somewhere. Nitsa. Oh, that's fine. They were short-lived and already out of date, but hopefully this will be able to turn things around to our favour. Alright, need those frigates. Are they attacking or are they retreating? They're the retreating forces. It's that they've got bombs as well, that's the problem. Right, let's cut that down to just 1 a turn. Which apparently they'll do regardless. Then lock, and put the rest into industry. That's got to be able to start building its own solutions. In the meantime, 4,300. Add another 300 across. So close to 5,000. Would not give for those new missile ships to come online soon. Oh, and there is a new attack. Yeah, they're sending in Tornado Annihilator, some Nexus-class ships. No, we'll be there soon. It's 3 turns. So, wave 2 then. A little desperate, but we'll get as many fighters across as we can grab. There you go. The Doll system also wants to build some fighters. Because they'll be arriving soon. They're arriving in 2 turns. Mentar is too far away. I think we've established a few times, so that can just move to Voltanis, Volantis, whatever. I think they can make it there in 3 turns. So the planet will be able to defend itself slightly. The increased production is going to help. Wait, we do need actually the that we need. Lock. Build a handful of fighters a turn, plus defense base. It'll do. There's a lot of ships coming down now at the moment. It's getting a little ridiculous, but we'll take what we can grab. Right, Xi'an now can go back to being a tech world. Alright, I think it's too far away from Altair to get there in 2, so that can just put a secondary force on. Adults can send its fighters across because they'll get there in time. They'll also get there in time to build some more ships. You will have a destroyer done. Actually, no, you won't. So move to frigates. In 1 turn, 3 of them. Plus reinforce Nitsa. This might have to be sent as a sort of reserve force soon. In the meantime, we really need to get that place sorted out. Transfer to that, enough, as many points as we can get away with. Hopefully that will get a few more defences done. And then we'll transfer the rest to Spiker to try and keep our tech up. Next turn then. Massive assembly there. ECM-5 pulse-on missiles. Now that actually is a bit of a plus, because I believe now that our bases now fire these. So we want battle control 7 versus... No, we want robotic controls. Right, so now that we've upgraded those, we want a new weapon really. Plasma cannon would be ideal. Fusion rifle adds to our thing there. Let's go hand phasers. It'll take a while, but that will increase our ground troops' strength quite considerably. And then it's next turn. Doll sends in some more fighters and then returns to being a research world. Voltanis can send over that because it'll be there. And it can return to being a research world, occasionally bringing out destroyers. gets to there, you will get to there as well. We have a frigate, so it might as well go to there. So I wonder what our defence is looking like on this place at the moment. We have 9 bases, and with a lot of new things there. We outnumber them by quite considerably, So let's find out, can we actually get 2 more, which might be more useful. Okay, lock that off, up the industry. Let's transfer reserve to Spiker, because research points. So I suppose currently espionaging. I think we're going to hide the ones in Sacra for now. Let's go sabotage with the Mechlers as well, actually. So we have lots of ships about to arrive. Next turn, the defense of Altair, stage 2. 3 pulse-on missile launchers. So 100 hit points, 11 shield. Okay, that's quite a useful thing. So the Annihilator, Nexus, and 1 Nemesis, which is the same one from earlier. So we have a few reasonable ships, it has to be said here. Now the destroyers can actually attack at range, so let's see how that goes. Oh, that's 1 set of fleets that wiped out. Get that done. Sorry, just taking note of this. Those missile defences are phenomenal. That was mostly by the look of it the missile defences. Our fleet strength now outranks them. And we can be there in 1 turn to strike at Mechlon. That's a temptation. That's a temptation. One I'm not going to resist. We got to strike now. Since that can defend itself so well, we'll keep it building bases because I don't know what's going to happen here. But honestly, I think that's a good idea just now. We're still going to build a defence force there. I'm still going to send some more ships to Altair because I'm not overly convinced that's going to be defended enough. Ajax has produced a load of frigates. Mentar has produced a destroyer. They can go to Altair. But that was quite a show from our new missiles. So, thinking about that, and knowing that Fighter 8s are going to soon be completely obsolete, well, we have enough of them at the moment in service that we can basically wait for this attack to end. Because they're actually, I think all of them are there, actually, looking at that. Yeah, all of the Fighter 8s are there, so we can sacrifice them to an extent in their last battle against the Mechlans. But pulse-on missiles. 20 damage, plus 4 to hit. I'll tell you what, they're not bad things, and range 10. So that would be 15 shots, plus 4 to hit, and then backed up with a fusion bomb and a nuclear bomb. So it actually then just becomes a sort of bomber slash missile ship. Missile ship. Arguably, it wouldn't need to be as maneuverable, so I can cut that down. So we can have 2 Omega bombs, as well as then 2 fusion bombs. So it's then very, very good at taking out ground defences. Still absorbing 6 hits, still made of Zortium. This isn't a bad plan. But in the meantime, let's have the attack on Mechlon then. Oh, they've sent something to attack us by the look of it there. Right. Auto. See how this goes. Here come the bombs. I think it might wipe out the colony the way we're going at the moment. They're sort of in retreat. Or rather being bypassed. Base is dealt with. The idea was to try and kill the fighters off. It's kind of working actually. Class 10 planetary shields. Yes, we're going to set up defense powers on that one. Then learning cloaking device. Let's bomb it. Colony destroyed. Whoops. That was a bit overkill. Oi. And I think that's probably the big thing about this. I could actually then just go straight back to it and defend it because I'm so much quicker than them. So, looking at the specs of that then, we can scrap the fighter 8s because while they are awesome, they're no longer required. Altair is building its defensive shield up, which is desired, so that's fine. Yeah, that's all good. The Mechla now have an exact same fleet strength as us, but our fleet, as we've seen, is very good. No spies, but apparently we're getting free a turn into there. Which is a little odd. Obviously our spies aren't doing enough. Transfer to Altair some of 98, and then transfer to Spiker the rest. Because while it's working on its planetary shield as well, I know, but they just have no speed, which is a problem. And this is what I was having the issue with the Sacra along when that war began. They were just so much quicker than me until I stole their technology. Speaking of the Sacra, we haven't really done a lot about them in ages. So let's go and fortify things there. You still going to put the force on Voltanis. I think we're going to have Volantis, sorry. I'm just going to change it. I wish I could change its name. I know I can in some of the later games. But, yeah. Let's see how this goes then. So we're going to get back there to defend it. Also, how much are those missiles going to hurt? In fact, the missiles are probably the main thing here. I probably didn't need to do this. Aside from distracting. Yeah, missiles just go boom and then boom. Insight Revolution. Okay. Silicoids abstain. 3 votes for Gunnar, 9 votes for Gunnar. They're nowhere near it, so I'm going to abstain. So, they should in theory be sending a colony ship, yep. So this time, now that we know things here, we're going to transfer over. No, actually, no, that is a fair point. We need to go and send them back, strangely. Send them over to Altair just to secure things for now. But we're going to send this massive invasion fleet back over to here next turn to deal with the Nexus and the one ship that's actually arrived there to challenge it. Oh dear. Transfer 62 over to the reserve to help get some tech and get that researched. So looking at things then, hand phasers being designed there, warp dissipator we're not too bothered about, the biotoxin antidote we're not too bothered about. Improved robotic controls will basically give us a massive production boost. and cloaking device. So really what we're working on at the moment are super advanced tech, really. Mechlas attack with Scions. Auto, what are you going to do? You're going to retreat. Fortunate. That was a bit too soon, really. I should have just waited. And I forgot to see what that actually was. Well, I could go and just colonise it myself, but we shall see. They still have a Nexus coming. The colony ship is in retreat. Alright, we're gonna let them take it. Because I do want to take it off them, but now I'm just really harassing them a bit more than I perhaps should. So Voltanis moves your fleet down there. Gora frigates across to there. We need missile ships now. Just seeing how good those missiles we just researched are. We are massively, massively ahead of them in weapons tech now. I mean, only really the Sacra have any kind of technology we need or might even want. Well, anyway, I've gone on for quite a while, so I shall end the video here. Next time, we continue wiping out the Mechlas. Until then.